environmentally sustainable bid to eradicate pit latrines, of course, comes along with the PITSTOP pilot right behind me. It's an invention of the NPO Save Our Schools, and I've got with me the CEO, Shelley Humphreys, to explain how this concept came about and also what it is they hope to achieve with these pilots. The pilot behind me, and of course, what will end up being hubs within various communities across South Africa. Shelley, good afternoon to you. So, of course, we know that your aim is to eradicate pit latrines, also an environmentally sustainable model. Explain to us what exactly you are hoping to achieve and also how these units will be assisting communities in terms of also growing that community, in terms of making sure that people are economically viable living in those areas.
Yes, so we know and we're very aware that there are still a lot of existing illegal pit latrines across South Africa in schools and communities, and these are obviously causing dire hazards, with children even dying from falling into pit latrines, and come along with various other diseases and respiratory problems and diarrhea and worms. And so this is a pilot for a health intervention. So we have collaborated with Amalulu, who have been working in the sanitation technology space for over 30 years, and they have created a very unique product which is specifically designed for communities and refugee camps where consistent water supply is not evident. So we've been very lucky with the Grindfoss Foundation funding this pilot, and it's not just going to be a wash hub, it's actually going to be a circular economy model, which will be empowering the community, providing jobs for the community, so that as an exit strategy we can hand this whole infrastructure over to the community and they will be empowered and have the funding to be able to maintain and operate this infrastructure. So
I suppose one of the key features is what you call separating the waste at source. Explain to us what happens there.
Yes. As we know, with communal sewer systems, fecal sludge is usually the culprit for many diseases and spilling out onto the streets and polluting rivers. So we want to stop fecal sludge from being created, and that is by separating the liquid waste and the solid waste at source. So this is a localized solution, and the liquid waste is taken away immediately into pipes which go underground and 4 meters out into the garden, where we'll be having food gardens, where we know that the nutrients from liquid waste, urine, the good nutrients go up and the bad nutrients sink. So we found that actually if you produce food gardens or you're growing food gardens where you're using urine underground as a fertilizer, it actually really boosts the harvest. The solid waste is immediately taken down into an underground chamber that's sealed, so there is no odour that comes back up and there's no flies that can get to it. And then we have aeration pipes on the back of the back container, where you have a pressure where only air comes in to dry the waste. So in about 2 months, that's hard waste is dried into a crumbly fertilizer form, and then we've just been testing with high heat. We can actually create biochar tablets from this, which we can then use for heating and cooking, and which the residents and community can sell as one of the means of revenue back into the community wash hub.
So you already have some of these standalones in an area in the Eastern Cape. What has the feedback been, or in Johannesburg, sorry, what has the feedback been from the local communities thus far?
Yeah, they're so grateful, and they absolutely love them. Obviously, the standalones, they can't be for large numbers of people, but we've tried to put them in places where they can reach a lot of people. What we're hoping with the hub is that it's actually going to be a very big light source to try and stave off any GBV or any dangerous situations for women and children. So the standalones, if they don't have electricity, are not lit. So we need to do a solar solution for those, which is in the plans.
Shirley Humphreys, thank you so much for speaking to me. Of course, they're the CEO of Save Our Schools with a unique project which they are piloting here, of course, behind me, a pit stop, a hub really, which will ultimately not just act as a health intervention, but also to boost local economies, specifically in informal areas, in township areas, and also then to bring people together in order to use waste for good.